Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. In this series of videos, I'll take a rock that I buy or purchase and I'll make a cabochon out of it, and I'll go through all the steps that I do to make that cabochon in this video. So this week, I have a piece of Peruvian Rhodonite. Rhodonite? I'll put the name down below because these Latin names, I just butcher them. I bought this piece on Etsy as a tumbled stone. I thought it looked pretty neat. I'm going to make a cabochon on it, so let's make a cabochon. So here is a piece of Peruvian Rhodonite, if I said that correctly. These Latin names really messed me up. So I bought this as a tumbled stone on Etsy. I thought it looked kind of neat, and I had plans on making it into cabochons. That's why I bought it. So what I'm going to do is I'll cut a piece off. Now I don't know. I was thinking of cutting it off this way, but I see there's a lot of pink on this, and I kind of want to get, the pink is what I'm after, so I might cut it this way. Hopefully this goes into the rock. But I'm not afraid to take tumbled stones and cut them. I mean, they look cool like this, but I think they look even better in a cabochon form now. So it's got a lot of interesting patterns and stuff going on in here. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'll take it down to lapidary saw and we'll cut it open, and then there'll be no trimming because I'm going to do a natural shape on the first one. And then we'll take it over to the cabber and make cabochon out of it. So let's get started. All right, so we're down here on my 10-inch high-tech lapidary saw. I just want to show you before we start. This uses a 10-inch continuous rim sintered diamond blade. The diamonds grind away the rock, i.e. cut it, but it does not cut with a sharp edge. I'm rubbing my thumb on it right now, and it don't even cut the glove. So if you touch this blade while it's running, it will not cut you. So here is the rock. I don't know what for some reason, I don't know if it's this camera or the lighting or what, but I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut this side off here. I'm going to cut it right along there. So hopefully we got some pink in there. Hopefully we got some pink going on in there. And let's get started. See how we did. Ooh, nice. Now I'm going to go ahead, while we're here, I'm going to take another slice off there just in case we can get more pink in there like that. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. All right, the other thing I want you to know is when I'm cutting stones on this saw here, I speed it up 7 times. So it looks like I'm cutting it really fast, but I'm not. And it usually takes almost 30 seconds, just even a small stone right here, to run it through the blade. So I got plenty of time to move my thumbs around. So I'm kind of interested here. We'll go over to the cabber and take a closer look at these. So I managed to get 3 nice cabochon pieces out of this to make cabochon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here. This is one of the in cuts. It had a nice lot of pink in it, and I'm going to make a natural shape cabochon out of it. So the only thing different is there's no template drawn on this, no design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my girdle, same thing, 1/8 inch, 2 millimeter-ish all around the edge here, but I'm going to keep this kind of shape here. And then once that's done, we'll put it over on the dot pot and put a stick on it. And then we'll make a cab out of it. But yeah, these other two, especially this one here, man, this one's got a lot of pink in it. So I'm going to probably make a shaped cabochon out of this. And this one, probably same thing. I'll make a shaped cabochon out of that. But I'm kind of impressed for a tumbled stone. Okay. So let's get started here. We'll go with the 80 grit, then the 220 grit, and then the 280 grit. Put a stick on it, and then we'll go through all the steps to make cab out of it. All right, now we'll come over to 220 grit. 280 to get the 220 grit marks off of it. Alright, so you see I carved my girdle in here, and then I like doing freeforms, but I don't like them when they got inside corners on them, because you got to work on the edge of the wheel, and I don't like doing that. So all my freeforms will be outer circles like this. Okay, so I got that flat edge on there. Now I'm going to throw it over on the dot pot, heat it up, and we'll put a stick on it, and we'll come back and make cab out of it. Alright, got it all dopped up here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of dress this girdle down a little bit. It's a little thicker than I want, so I'm going to bring it down just a tiny bit. Go around, and then once I get that the way I want it, then we'll start doming it. And then we'll start with the 80 grit, we'll move over to 220 grit, and then the 280 grit, and then we'll move over to the polishing side, and then on to the cerium oxide, and we'll be done with it. So let's get started. All right, that's kind of like where I like to be with the girdle, about 1/8 inch, a little over. So let's start. I'm going to grind this edge right here now, kind of work my way to the center, and then we'll start doming it. Okay, gonna be one of them days. So I'll heat the dot pot back up, and we'll get this back on there, and we'll start over again. Okay, we're all dopped up for attempt number 2. Let's get going. Okay, I think we got that. So when you're grinding on this wheel here, especially on a thinner one here, make sure you get a nice round dome on top, because a lot of times you'll grind and then you'll look in the middle and you'll see grind marks there, but it's still kind of flat, even though you'll see grind marks. So what the problem is, and I do this sometimes, is as you go down the line, when you get to the last end, because there's just a little flatness on top here, you won't get a good shine right in the center, but it'll look really good around the edges. So make sure when you're doming, you get a nice round dome on top here. And that's what I'm seeing right there. So now we're going to move on to 220 grit. So the first thing on the 220 grit I like to do is I like to follow the edge right here and get this part shined up right on the edge, because there's scratch marks in here. Sometimes you'll miss them, and then when you're running down the 220 grit along the edge here, you'll get all those. Now you can start doming. Okay, I think that looks good. Now we're going to move on to 280. Okay, I'm liking that. Got a nice smooth break on the edge here. Now I'm going to shut you off, and we're going to move over to the polishing side. Okay, now we're on the polishing side. We got 600, 1200, 3000, and a cerium oxide disc around the corner, so we'll start with the 600. Alright, now we're going to move on to the 1200. Alright, 3000. Alright. Alright, now we're going to stop you or shut you off and move around to the cerium oxide and see if we can buff this thing up a little more. Okay, we're on the end with a cerium oxide disc. This is an impregnated cerium oxide disc that's a stick-on disc on the end of a foam pad. It's mounted in the spindle on the polishing side of this cabbing machine. I got to put a splash fuel in here because it sprays water all over the place. And let's get started. paper towel, pant leg. Yep, I'm liking that. So we'll take this upstairs, throw it in the freezer, and we'll look at it closely. So we're back upstairs. Got a really nice looking cabochon. Got a nice clean break off the stick here. And let's turn the camera around and take a really good look at this one. So here's the cabochon we made out of the Peruvian Rhodonite. And I think it came out really nice. The shine's pretty good. There's the front. There's the back. Got a lot of pink in there. That's kind of what I was hoping for. But it's kind of nice. It's not solid pink. Got a little design, couple of little black specks going on in there. So this is the original stone here, part of it anyways. And here, I got it sliced up good enough. I'm gonna get 3 cabs out of it. Actually, I already put the patterns on there, right there. So you'll be seeing these on Etsy here someday. So yeah, I thought everything worked out pretty good. Get these out of the way here. So this will be on Etsy, probably within the week. I'm trying to keep up because I got far behind that one time and I don't want to do that again. So yeah, natural shape. So we'll put a glue-on bail on this, and it'll be ready to go. So next week, I had a viewer send me some rocks, Tammy from Pennsylvania, and in the rocks, she sent me some Ohio Ridge flint. So what I'm going to do is she had 3 separate pieces on there. So this is piece number 1. This is going to be piece number 2, and this is piece number 3. So let's look at these real quick here. So this is number 1. Got a lot of cool looking design going on in there. This is number 2. I don't think that one's too shabby either. That's kind of neat. And this is number 3. Now number 3 got some lines and stuff in there, but color-wise, not so much. So here's the deal. I'm gonna try to do a poll on the YouTube page. So I'm gonna let the viewers pick out 1, 2, or 3 to make a cab for next Saturday's video. And it'll be the same thing. I'll have the pictures and stuff if I can get the poll to work. So the poll will come out this Saturday, and I'm going to run it till Wednesday because I got to have the cab made for the next Saturday episode. So if that don't work, here you can see this in the video. Just leave a comment, 1, 2, or 3, and then I'll add the comments to the poll if I get the poll to work. So this is next week's project, is the flint here. So you got me to see me make a cabochon out of Peruvian Rhodonite. So I went from this to this. Now, if you're doing lapidary, you know, I always look at rocks now. Even if I go to like a shop or something that's got tumbled stones, I'm looking at them thinking, you know, could I make a cabochon out of that? So nothing's really off limits, you know, except maybe your grandmother's or your mom's or whoever's rock collection. You might want to think about that. But I have gotten tumbled rocks and I've cut them up and made cabochons out of them. That's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. Just another rock, basically, and then you're making something, you know, just from a tumbled rock, you know, you're making a cool cabochon out of it. So let's see, looking at the notes here. So I got the flint from Tammy out in Pennsylvania there. I'd like get some voting on that. So whatever gets the most votes is what I'll make the cabochon out of. And then I think that's, I'm gonna have two, I'll put my first video up here at the end here. And then YouTube will put a video right here. So if you want to look at some of my other stuff, because now I'm starting to accumulate more videos, and there's, you know, there's more things you can spread out and look at there. So thanks to all the subscribers out there. I really appreciate it that you like my content enough to subscribe and come back and watch it, and all the viewers out there. I appreciate that too. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Just the button's down here, and it's free, don't cost nothing. And then if you slide over and give me a thumbs up, that gets the analytics out there so more people can find this content, and then you can share it, hype it, and ring the bell or push the bell button, and you'll get notifications. So thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. That's all I got, and I'll catch you later.